Although this week is we're doing something a little different. We're actually going to give an update on a story that we talked about. What was it, about a month ago, 2 months
Yeah, a
ago?
month or two, whenever the charges were actually announced.
Yeah. So for those of you probably didn't see this or need a little refresher, um, Justin Roiland, who's the co-creator of Rick and Morty, he's also the voice of Rick and Morty, was hit with some DV charges from a couple years back, and then not long after that was discovered, he lost his job with the show, and I'm presuming he lost his job with his other shows.
Yes, basically complete cancellation.
Yeah. It was just recently announced that the district attorney in Orange County, California, has dropped all the charges. So means it just means that he's not gonna have stand trial. Nothing's gonna happen to him, at least legally. But of course, what that means for his jobs going forward, not too sure about that, but probably not looking good for him.
No, this could be a situation where he has to go kind of indie to find anyone willing to hire him or work with him. But
Yeah.
now, as I recall at the time, I said some unkind things about, well, while he might be innocent, would it really surprise anybody if one of the creators of a cynical show like Rick and Morty did this?
Yeah,
Um,
and I kind of echoed that too.
so yeah, let's uh, I was thinking it was more likely to be credible than it turned out to be. Of
Hmm.
course, not pressing charges doesn't necessarily mean that nothing happened. It means you just can't prove it.
Right.
But um, much the same way that I say that, uh, basically I'm going to apply the same standard here I did with Vic Mignogna and Amber Heard's ex. Why am I so bad with names today?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. How did I forget Johnny Depp? God,
I don't
I,
know.
I'm going to blame this workout routine I'm on. Anyway, I'm going to apply the same standard to as I do for Johnny Depp and Vic, which is basically okay. No crime, no foul.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, and now it could very well be that he could still be a jerk.
Yep.
But now whether or not he's that big of a jerk, it doesn't. At least it can't be proven that he is, at the very least. So I mean, yeah, if he wants to make a comeback somewhere, with another TV show or maybe a movie or something like that,
Mhm.
good luck to him.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what he does next. But we just wanted to give an update on this one.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of a cancellation that I'm a little bit more in favor of, we talked back in January about the Square Enix game Forspoken, which basically was famous online for being a cringe tornado.
Yeah.
Shangus points out there were other allegations against Roiland that haven't been addressed yet, but
Oh yeah. I guess he was DMing uh, young ladies. I'll just put it that way.
so
Allegedly.
so if they were a baseball league, would it be a major or a minor?
A minor. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to still stick to that standard.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Charge a crime or don't.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But back to Square Enix. Um, uh, so they have decided to. How about this? Forspoken, the cringe tornado game of early this year that everybody immediately forgot about,
Yeah.
uh, apparently sold horribly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine why a game that you need a PS5 or a 64 gigabyte top of the line computer to run properly uh, uh, would struggle to sell. That had
Yeah.
had a, on the surface at least, unlikable, cringy protagonist, weird tonal issues, and a generic fantasy story.
Yeah. And it is getting the Atari ET treatment.
Yes, Daniel showed me some photos online that of people throwing out the steelbook editions in landfills.
Yeah.
So, oof.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm a little more in favor of this cancellation is that this is from the studio. Well, I should say, this isn't the studio that brought us Final Fantasy 15 because it didn't technically exist at the time of Final Fantasy 15 coming out, but it was formed after that game because they have an engine that can, in theory, do some cinematic things. But man, I tried to play Final Fantasy 15. I tried twice. Like,
Same here. Same here. Yeah.
it's just not an interesting game. It's
No.
like, if you compare it to like Final Fantasy 7, oh, you're a mercenary and you're in the middle of a terrorist attack,
Yeah.
or Final Fantasy 10, oh, you're a sports star and suddenly you're isekai'd, but they did
Yeah.
like a immediate res at the start of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are intriguing things. Like, oh, four bros are going on a camping trip before before one of them gets married off. Is there a
Yeah.
war? No. Is there international tension? None that I recalled,
Yeah.
even though he's a prince.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. And then they're making obvious "Stand by Me" references,
Yes, including the song.
including the song.
I gave up right around when they introduced the Sephiroth alike, because it's like, okay, a guy showed up who is clearly the Sephiroth for this game. Is he actually actively a villain right now? No. Is he seemingly scheming like any other villain would be? No. Is he at least like disconcerting like Seymour from Final Fantasy X when you first meet him? No. Okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
It sounds like we gave up around in similar areas.
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm not the least bit unhappy to hear that the spin they're putting on this is, beginning on May 1st, it would join Square Enix to deliver new innovative gaming experiences across the globe, which basically just means we're being folded into the parent company and split up.
Yeah.
Changus, I just killed a game studio with my freaking mind. Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Yes. Yeah.
But we just wanted to give an update on these two stories. Again, this doesn't mean that we typically celebrate anybody losing their jobs. There might be one that would, spoiler alert, there might be one that we celebrate losing their job later on in the show.
Yeah.
And Justin Roiland, at the very least, for the moment, might be a jerk, but he's not a criminal jerk.
Correct. Yeah.
So let's get on to our things of the week.
Yes.